Live, pal.
We are live, back
We are live,
again.
pal. Yeah. We live. Yo, I want to let y'all know. Thank y'all so much for tapping into Reasonable Wrestling. You know what? We haven't really did this show proper in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Listen. How about this? We'll give you this next Thursday, live at the new house.
Okay, there we go.
We're going. We're gonna get right into it. You know what I'm
Hopefully, your
saying?
internet is better there.
Yeah. I mean, the internet did not do this until we went live. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We talked for like 10 minutes, nigga, and the shit didn't do none of this. You
Now you
know?
look like a fucking mosaic. Oh my god,
Yeah.
your face is melting. What's up,
You know
Ivy?
what?
What's up?
You know,
Congratulations on a new house.
we
Yes.
melting out. We melting in this motherfucker. All right. So look,
Yo,
is
this
the
heat wave
audio
has
good?
been crazy. The audio is great.
Am
The
I
audio is perfect. Yeah.
bad? Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it, nigga. If the audio is good, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? I know we do the visual, but it's a podcast. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Anyway, so no, next Thursday we're gonna do the show proper. We're gonna have
Mhm.
a fucking we'll have our images
Countdown, images, all that.
down, have a
Hold on.
motherfucking intro. We're gonna do all that shit. But right now, it is the most high looking like motherfucker. I'm in a Doctor Strange movie right now. And I'm with my nigga Chitty Bang, you know
Was
what I'm saying? And
good.
we hit episode 170, you know what I'm saying? What's going on?
170. Yes, we are the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. And we're here to talk the week that wasn't professional wrestling. But before you do that, please hit that like button. It's very good for the algorithm. That's what I hear. And hit the subscribe button too. It's very good just for our ego. Um, and and if you like fucking with our content, go to Twitter, RW Podcast One. Follow us there. Follow us on IG at Regional Wrestling Podcast, and follow us on YouTube. If you're already here, you already probably following us on YouTube at Regional Wrestling Podcast. It's also the same thing on Facebook, so check it out. Um, but nonetheless, let's get right into the week that was in professional wrestling. Now, what topic that we just talked about before we go live do you want to kick off the show? Is this
I
170?
mean, shit, we could just episode 170. We could
We've
just
done this
talk light.
170 times. We're gonna freestyle. We're
We can
gonna.
we can we can really talk right about what happened last night. I mean, I had hit you direct, and I'm like, yo,
Yes, let's start there. Because
listen,
why
you
did
know
you
what I'm
hit me,
saying?
and what stuck out to you at AEW? Because yesterday was AEW Dynamite, their go
Yes, it
home show
was.
for All Out, and he
Yes.
hits me up. He's like, "Yo," and I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Have you watched the show?" I'm like, "Nah, not yet. I'm gonna catch up." He's like, "All right, then hit me back when you're ready." Obviously, I didn't hit him back until the show, so let's just see what he was talking about. Because I watched the show, finally caught up. What stuck out to you on AEW Dynamite?
Well, I would say first and foremost, AEW Dynamite kicked off the show with John Moxley, which we was trying to figure out where the direction of All Out was going to be, right?
Mhm.
And and Moxley kicked it off, and everybody was pretty much saying that it is going to be Moxley Punk at All Out, and I'm like, well, how do you get us there, right? How do we get there, right? And they got us there, and st- I'm not gonna kill it, right? I'm not gonna kill it. Even though I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't all the way for me. You know what I'm saying? Like we know who it was for. We knew who it was. You know what I'm saying? Like it was for a specific demo, and they got that demo locked in. You know what I'm saying? So like I I can't hate it, but I will say that I need this to be done with. I need
Wow.
some Punk to be done with, and I need for us to go forward with whatever they're going to do next because they don't mesh well.
I
And
mean, I
go, I'm sorry.
disagree, but go ahead. I completely disagree. I think that CM Punk is at a certain level on that mic, and John Moxley is at a certain level on that mic. That when they get on the mic, they actually say shit that you care about. They actually say shit that rings your ears. Like, all right, cool. I think that John Moxley is one of the best at selling a fight. He's up there with the Paul Heymans as far as getting you interested in what his angle is for this fight. And he's done it time and time again throughout AEW in his run with AEW, where I wasn't interested in a match, but then John Moxley talks about it. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's interesting. And that's for me. And not everybody is a John Moxley fan. I am a fan of John Moxley. I've been a fan of him since he was prior to being Dean Ambrose, when he was John Moxley on the Indies. There's something captivating about him. So much so that if he was still in WWE, he might be the best wrestler on the card. Now he might be the best performer on that card if he was in WWE against Roman. He would be a guy who could beat Roman, like put it that way, and be the undisputed champion. The way he talks and the brashness, the badassery of it, I'm sorry, I can't take this call. The way he talks, he comes off as a just you want to root for the guy who's just a badass that's going to talk his shit and fight and stand on his shit. Whether it's something that is controversial or not, he'll say it. He'll wear his heart on his sleeve, come out there and tell people what he got going on, and be himself. I think his battles and his struggles with alcoholism and coming out there and bringing it into his ring and saying, I'm going to be the best wrestler in the world, I think that also garnered his fan base. And like for me, anybody who's been through some struggles is willing to bring it into their art form and shed their story light in front of people. I appreciate, so not just that, his matches have been good. He's a good wrestler, and he's believable when he's in that ring. So Moxley, and then you get Punk. Obviously that match last week was 3 minutes and Punk lost, got squashed. I didn't expect this to be the way they get there. However, going into this new second match, it puts the stakes up higher than it was for the first one. Because it was title versus title, interim versus stop calling me that. Interim versus champion, and John Moxley declared himself as the firm champion. Now it's all the pressures on Punk to prove that he has what it takes to be a AEW champion again, to prove that he's not, beyond the pale, but that he's not washed up, that he's, who he says in his hometown of Chicago. So I believe that this match does have higher stakes. And I believe that this match, I'm not saying necessarily it sold the pay-per-view for me, but I do think that I don't look at it as done. I look at it as just beginning, put it that way.
Well, I would say, okay, just beginning.
Yes.
Oh no, that can't happen for me. We can't have a fall of Moxley and Punk going back at it, jabs, talking about I'm the heart and soul, I'm the money in the sense, and like I understand everything that you're saying. Like Mox, as of who he is as a performer, and y'all know what it is, the Most High. I'm gonna roll up one while I'm talking. Mox as a performer, I'm not down. I'm not saying anything about that. Mox as a champion, I actually like. You know, like I was like, I think we should be done with this Phil experiment. I think that he came back. He's in a record, bro. He's in a record books as champion and all that. But like, you trying to tell me that all of this CM Punk crying, talking about that I come back too soon? Do I still got it? Yada yada. That's gonna make me care about when he dropped the title to MJF? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm just speaking on for me. You know what I'm saying? Because after he gets that pep talk, if that pep talk was what he needed to feel fire in his ass after getting his ass beat, then he ain't got that dog in him anyway. And Moxie gonna eat his ass up. Listen, I'm just, you see,
I hear you.
You see Seth Rollins, that nigga said, hey, Brittle, I'm in your ass. But you know who the fuck I'm after. Because Rollins know, like, I took an L to this nigga. I gotta come back and get this. I haven't forgot that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though my attention is elsewhere, I'm still about to get out that ass. This nigga CM Punk talking about hanging up boots and shit because he got his ass beat. Like, Moxley, listen, they gonna go longer, okay. They gonna tell a better story in the ring, okay. But Moxley gotta either get cheated with a returning MJF, right? And MJF got to come and ensure that CM Punk is the champion, and because MJF motivation is that he wants to become champion off the back of CM Punk. Like that will make it for me. Just how I say the 6-man trio was salvaged if Hangman Page somehow got involved, because we originally didn't get undisputed first. Like you got to salvage something for me, because the Summer of Punk was supposed to lead to MJF and Punk in Chicago. That's what I ultimately believe. I
Okay.
ultimately believe the Summer of Punk was supposed to lead to Punk losing in Chicago to MJF. That would have made MJF the fucking man.
But
You
didn't he already lose to MJF in Chicago?
That smash with the fucking with the ring and shit like that with no real stakes. I get it, but nah, it would be nothing like MJF and CM Punk in Chicago, all out the
Oh,
year
wow.
that CM Punk returned. CM Punk coming in as champion with the home crowd, and that nigga MJF somehow fucking win and get the title. Like I thought that was gonna be what the plan
I
was.
need Punk. I don't want no MJF interfering in this. I need Punk to just, if he cheats flat out. Just screw it. You know what? Cheat and win and take that title and go through the crowd and escape just like you did, at Money in the Bank back in the day. Take that title and run with it. And I think that adds fire in John Moxley. That gives other people a heel champion like Hangman Page to go back after him. That gives whoever you want to elevate, whether it be a Miro, whether it be a Kenny. I do believe that CM Punk as a heel champion who's a scumbag, and then you finally get MJF come back. And when MJF come back, honestly, he's gonna be a baby. Like he might be a heel as far as how he acts, but people are gonna love to see that guy back, and they're gonna love him. They're gonna love him. Like and
Well,
because
my thing
we
is
we already missed the hell out of him.
people love to see CM Punk back, but he's a heel outside of Chicago, my nigga.
So it's the reverse. So
That,
let's
that,
make
that,
him a heel on the card, and then bring back MJF as a baby, and then you have these competitors with Punk, and then maybe then MJF as a baby face who's talking his shit can go ahead and cleanly defeat the CM Punk that's been a dickhead, for a month or two and become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. It all is stemmed from MGF and his contract and all that stuff. So MGF definitely has to come back as a top dog in a restructured contract if he comes back. So he has to be put in the main event immediately.
does he have to come back, or does he just say fuck it? I'll just get sued by Tony, pay the money back that he paid me, and then get out my contract early. I mean,
Listen,
that's what sports niggas do. Sports say
it
fuck
is.
that signing bonus back, nigga. The fuck I
It
don't
is,
want to be.
but here's what I'm thinking. I think that this is a shoot that turned into a work. I think that MJF definitely wanted to restructure his contract. I don't think Tony Khan is dumb enough to hold out on that. I don't think he is. You over here signing guys like Morrissey, which Morrissey looks great. He's in great, phenomenal shape. W. Morrissey. He signed, and now he's with Stokely Hathaway. But you're signing all these guys, Roosh, bringing guys in. There's no way you're doing that and not giving MJF money like that he needs. Like in my mind, especially he's a homegrown AEW champ talent who got over and sold most merchandise and sold tickets, who people are and got ratings for you. There's no way Tony Khan sees that and does not give him his bread. It's just like you said, it's like athletes who hold out and eventually finally they work out a contract like Lamar probably will with the Ravens.
Hey,
It's
we never know, nigga. We never know, brother. You know.
hey, Debo Samuel got his contract. Kyler Murray got his contract. I'm looking at it like that. Yeah, you can talk your
That's true.
shit,
That's
and
true.
eventually they'll
That's
be like,
true.
listen, you're too valuable, and that's
That's
what
true.
MJF is. He's too
That's true.
valuable.
That's true. I can see that. I can see that. I can say, well, I mean, since we're here on AEW, and uh, let's just go ahead and talk about it. The main event.
Okay.
Main event. Bruh. I don't give a fuck what happened Sunday, but that was the final.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was awesome,
that was
man.
the final.
That main event, honestly, I think it stole the show. Even like usually during the commercial breaks, I might look at my phone and shit. Even during the commercial breaks, you put it in picture in picture. I was watching that shit in picture in picture. I usually just like, oh, it's commercial. Let me fast forward through it. Nah, I stayed through it and watched it in picture because they were putting on a show. I was telling you before we got on here, I have so much respect for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks for the style they wrestle, including Will Ospreay and the two gentlemen that he's with in his stable. I'm sorry,
I
the
think
Danger
it's
was.
Fletcher and somebody. Only
Okay.
reason why I know Fletcher because he kept getting his head kicked the fuck off. They kept saying Fletcher can't stand. He kept getting fucked up out there, brother. So shout out to Fletcher, my nigga. Stay strong.
Yeah, the United Empire. That is Will Ospreay.
I think Jeff Cobb was in United Empire.
If
If
God
I'm
was in
not,
it, for real.
I think Jeff Cobb is in United Empire. If I'm not mistaken.
Hmm. Well, yeah, Great O'Con was in it. Okay. Well, I can't find these guys' names right now, but those two
Really?
guys that were, you can find it. I'm
I
not
see.
gonna.
Okay,
I
cool,
don't want to
cool.
waste too much time.
No,
But
go ahead. Go. Finish your
my
point,
point was
Monster.
that um, when it comes to the style of wrestling that Kenny Omega chooses to do. Now, granted, he's not the most charismatic guy. He's not the most greatest mic worker. But what gets him over is his matches, man, and you gotta respect that. The guy
Kyle
has put
Fletcher and Mark Davis.
Fletcher.
Cal Fletcher and Mark
Kyle
Davis.
Fletcher and Myron Davis. There you go. And the United Empire with Will Ospreay. That match was the match of the night. Might have been the match of the week, depending on what happens this coming weekend. We'll see. We'll see. There's still Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle coming up. There's still a lot of matches on All Out that might be, there's a ladder match on there. So we'll see what goes down. But that so far, that has been the match of the week. It's a banger. Go back and watch it if you guys haven't. But my point was that Kenny Omega coming back from his injuries, he had a hernia and that shit's painful. I've had a hernia in the past. He had a torn labrum in the shoulder. He had knee surgery. I think he might have torn meniscus or something. Um, and he had vertigo since like 2018. His style of wrestling has put him in a position where he's had had to get like multiple surgeries, and now he's back giving his all in the ring again. And guys like that, I always have the utmost respect for. Guys like Kevin Owens, who takes the craziest bumps. Mick Foley takes the craziest bumps. Jeff Hardy. He's not even my favorite wrestler. I'm not a big, huge fan of Jeff Hardy, but I respect the way he approaches wrestling. Now, I know Billy Gunn came out. He's like, listen, he teaches his students to have a long career and protect themselves. You don't got to do all these type of moves. But not everybody has that aspiration to have a long career with just standard okay matches. Now, yeah, you can tell a story. The Miz has had great matches by telling a story, but not everybody can even do that. And he protects himself. But when it comes to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, I just always want to my captain because they never leave me wanting more from their matches. I always am like, that was interesting, that was good, that was impressive, and they give it their all every single time. And I think that we take it for granted sometimes because it's like, oh, we expect, oh, yeah, Young Bucks, super kick, V trigger, all that stuff. But the dives, the way they set things up, the organization in the matches, that trios match, it was awesome. So, and it just dawned on me, like, the way we talk about injuries in wrestling and what makes for a quality wrestling, a quality wrestling career. Do you protect yourself and like the Miz and like, just take it easy and, work a certain style that gets you longevity? Or do you say, no, I want to go out there and have the best match every single night? Because I respect both sides of the coin, but I don't think that it's for everybody. I don't think either one is for everyone. I think there are certain people like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks who they can work that style and they might have a shorter career, but they're going to be fine regardless if they are wrestling or not actually wrestling. They're going to make money. They're going to have a quality career and lifestyle outside of wrestling and even within wrestling atmosphere, the culture, even if they're not actually wrestling. But then there are guys like our young, that Dante Martin, who wrestles another risque, high flying style that, might want to protect themselves because if they do get injured like that, they will shorten their careers and they don't got that back up, in the sense of that equity they built as a brand. The Young Bucks is a brand. Kenny Omega is a brand now. Like if you were to take that name and pivot it to something else and create a video game and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, I don't know, RPG or some shit, not even wrestling, fighting game. I don't know. They can do that and it will probably sell. But like that conversation, I think is kind of missed on some of these guys. And I just want to touch base on it and just give some props to the Kenny Omegas and Young Bucks of the world who are going out there and giving it their all obviously on that.
I think that to me that was what Kenny's original fucking I think that was Kenny's originally when he came back and he gave us some that speech after he said I came back for people to show appreciation of what it is that I do. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, like, yes, that is the reason why these people do what they do. Now, when you ask, do you give it all? Do you leave it all? Do you, what the thin line that you do to like let people know that they're satisfied with what it is that they watch? I think it all depends on like who it is ultimately that you are, right? Like Miz understands the psychology of show business. You know what I'm saying? He's been in it for so long. He's been like he damn near really can executive produce a television show, not just like on some, let me have my name in the credits type shit. Like he legitimately can executive produce a television show. You know what I'm saying? So to understand the psychology of how to produce TV. And now on the other end, you have people who are in depth with their psychology of wrestling, right? Who don't necessarily care. That's why we love the marriage of NXT with the independent scene at that early time, because we like if they just had a little bit more pop, they knew what a camera was, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that to make their presence be a presence that matters, you know what I'm saying? So Kenny, Ospreay, Bucks, they all have experience, breakneck speed, but knowing exactly where to be. Oh, I gotta get these niggas in the corner who never see this move. I gotta get these niggas who ain't never ever been. Like they give niggas an experience to be like, if this is your first time seeing me, you gonna get a show. And everybody necessarily don't. We talk about with basketball sometimes, with football sometimes, right? The mentality of like, nah, man, I play a game for a living. I'm the Russell Westbrooks of the world, or the motherfucking Ed Reeds of the world. That was just like, nigga, every play I'm going out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you got other niggas, Dion. Nigga, Dion was judicious in his tackling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
still one of the greatest of all time. He went out there to put on a show. He's prime time still.
Like, but I ain't finna get out there, nigga. I ain't playing linebacker, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got niggas like Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker or Tim Duncan during the age of where he took pride in playing 82 games. Niggas like, shit, nigga, we gotta play damn near 30 in the playoffs. Like, I need to take some days off within, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, for wrestlers, I never see any. The way I would see if you cheat the game is clearly you cheat yourself when you half-ass, and you can always tell somebody who's going through the motions with how they're performing, right? Running the ropes hard, you know what I'm saying? The way they throw their punches, the way they sell, like just certain shit you can tell sometimes, if somebody's dogging it per se. But to what your point is to Kenny, to the Bucks, to Ospreay, for niggas like that who really go and go. Like you bring up Dante Martin. That's not a bad like Ray Phoenix, right? You looking at
he's had his injuries too,
You looking at that, and you're like, yo, that's not necessarily a bad thing to have, because in this day and age, what did they grow up on? They grew up on AR Fox. They grew up on Jeff Hardy. They grew up on AJ Styles. They grew up on the X Division, right? So like that taking risk is what drew them niggas into being a wrestler.
Yeah, and I think that some part of that is like the risk of injury and you're willing to take that risk, and I feel like that's a conversation that I think every wrestler should have with themselves. Is like, all right, what style do I want to do, and how do I want to approach it? Because if you're not the like going all out in the ring, you better figure out a way to be super technical and still perform at a high pace. You might find a way to be a showman, like the Miz, and have that presence on the mic or that character that just sticks out, like Ricky Starks has perfected in some sense. Like I like to see like the different sides of wrestling in people and appreciate what they do strongly. Like I think that like ECW is a great case study on highlighting somebody's strengths and minimizing their weaknesses. Everybody on that show was like back alley, scrub jobber into any other company. And Paul Heyman says, "No, I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you, and I'm going to turn you into magic." And when I watched that show, I genuinely bought into the Dudleys. I genuinely bought in to Balls Mahoney, who honestly looks like I can just see him at freaking Publix, buying groceries. And guys, I bought in like, oh, he's a legit wrestler. I bought into Taz. I bought into Raven. I bought into Sandman. Sandman, he's like a legitimate alcoholic. And the entire time he was there, so, but like you could able to make this guy a star, and that's what I think is kind of the magic of wrestling sometimes. And I think that there's so many ways to skin the cat. So if you're coming up in the game, yes, we might see that AEW's popping and New Japan is super strong style, and you might fall in love with that style. Understand what it takes to perform that style if you're coming up. And then also find out, hey, how can I highlight my strengths and what I do best? Because even if you might like it, you might not be able to perform it the way that Kenny Omega is one of the slickest wrestlers I've ever seen. Very slick. Can cut different ways in the ring and run the ropes in a certain way that I haven't seen many people do. And not everybody has that fluidity. So if you got that and you want to stick
with too, like that's the thing too, is you appreciate it. You're appreciating it because it's rare, bro.
Yeah. But also with Sandman, who didn't do run rooms that way, is also rare to get over in the way that he did, by just drinking beer, smashing a beer can on his head, and having a kendo stick and beating somebody's ass.
I don't want to put Kenny Omega and the Sandman because I think
I'm saying that no, I'm saying they're different. I'm saying two different ways of getting over. You remember the Sandman. You remember Kenny. Yeah. You're gonna remember Kenny Omega. They still are wrestlers who sold merchandise. And like I'm not saying that Sandman's on the same level as Kenny. I'm not trying to compare it from that point of view, but I'm saying that Sandman did not have the skills at all of a Kenny Omega. But still, people remember his name for years to come, and honestly, should be in the Hall of Fame. If he's not, in my opinion, he was that.
And what Hall of Fame?
In a Hall of Fame somewhere, because he was that much of a character in ECW.
In a Philadelphia Arena Hall of Fame, nigga. The fuck Hall of Fame?
Raven don't deserve to be a Hall of Fame.
Who?
Raven.
All right. So.
Wow, you don't think Raven deserves a Hall of Fame nomination? I love Raven. I mean, that maybe it's a bias, but you should put a poll out there. Should guys like Raven and ECW, be in the Hall of Fame for what they work with? ECW was special, man. Maybe you don't remember, but ECW was.
Don't tell me I don't remember. And what Hall of Fame? G? Like, what are you talking about?
It could be WWE Hall of Fame. There's people who haven't even wrestled in WWE who are in the WWE Hall of Fame. Bro, right?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I am not about to get stuck in the mud arguing Raven and Sandman in the Hall of Fame.
Raven was a multi-time hardcore champion.
Oh, hey, you can do a rant, or you can you can go off. I'm just not gonna argue that point.
All right, I'm just saying that that's what I believe. I believe that Raven for the Hall of Fame. Tweet it out.
No, I'm not tweeting that. You can tweet
New Jack.
I'm not tweeting that out. Now, what I am going to say is that, like, listen, for what you're saying is correct. Kenny Omega and Sandman have a lasting legacy for the styles of now. You want to talk about breakneck speed? Both of them are breakneck speeds, man. Like,
not Sandman, no.
No, Sandman he was blowing 8 balls and drinking beer. That's not the best way to keep your body together when you're trying to wrestle. I can tell you that.
Is that breakneck speed?
That's break heart speed, nigga. I can tell you that. Nigga, cardiac arrest speed, motherfucker. Like he was not keeping care of himself. So what I am going to say, you brought me here, so we're here. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I hear you.
What I am going to say is though, what I am going to say is that determining who you are as a wrestler, oh shit, I was doing some stupid shit. Determining who you are as a wrestler, and the style that you want to wrestle all comes from your inspiration, right? So it all determines, right? I think that I'm not sure who influenced Kenny Omega, but I can honestly tell that there's a lot of Chris Jericho in Kenny Omega. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell that there is a lot of, as Kevin Owens stated with Sami Zayn, there's a lot of Owen Hart and how that nigga can just be a universal puzzle piece anywhere, bro. Like
utility player, no matter where he goes, man.
That nigga Owen and that nigga El Generico can go and be anywhere right now. So
and what I like about, he's like a chameleon. Like if you want to get that technical masterpiece match, you can do that with Sammy. You can do that with Owen. If you want to get that comedic kind of storyline going, you can do that with Sammy. You can do that with Owen. You want to get that high flying kind of like luchador kind of style, you can get that with Kenny. You can, I mean Sammy. You can get that with Owen. So you have a point. Like both of them. When Owen came in, he was a luchador. I think when he was like the tornado kid.
He came in as a blue blazer, I think, but he did it like
he came in as something completely else. I'll look it up because I remember on was it WrestleMania 9? He was called something, and I'm gonna pull it up right now. And I was like, "Is this Owen Hart?" I couldn't believe it. He not 9, not WrestleMania. WrestleMania. No, yeah, WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9.
No, WrestleMania 9 was him.
No. WrestleMania 8.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like doing like luchador moves and high flying moves. He faced Skinner.
Skinner.
But yeah, I forgot the name that they named, but he was called like the Lightning Kid or something.
But going back to what we said, like your style, right? Kenny style with Jericho, right? Jericho is the great. I think that like what he has able to do as far as reinvention to make himself relevant and present, right? Like Jericho is a presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like a fucking staple. Like he's a necessity, right? And the only reason why he's that is because he's able to be like, okay, no more Lionheart shit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for me to tap in. As Kenny Omega, like we're again, we talk about sports, right? The older LeBron James get, nigga, the less he is able to do high flying moves and be in the air. Or we see how Michael Jordan on the second 3P, he was a little bit more on the ground. He had to live. It's a lot more Kobe. We talk about the cerebralness. I think Kenny, over time, we're going to see him be like Chris Jericho. He's going to be a lot more cerebral in the ring. He's going to be a lot more judicious in his risk taking. But I think as of right now, he gives us everything that he can because, like you said, he never know when he can give it again. You know what I'm saying? So it's appreciated. It is appreciated.
Definitely appreciated. Now moving on, another thing in AEW I want to touch on was Daniel Garcia. Your guy from Buffalo. I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing, and I like the storyline they're telling with him, the Jericho Appreciation Society, and the Blackpool Comic Club. Now, do I want to see what?
Let me tell you something.
I like what they're doing, man, with Garcia, because like when we first saw the Blackpool Comic Club and we saw Yuta, we mentioned that he's the guy who needed that like kind of like cred, like that tough edge, and that's why he was put in there. And Daniel Garcia, even though he seems like he fits there, he already had that tough edge. I think that people see him as a tough guy already off of his story and what he's been through and how he fights in the ring.
Nigga, his name was Red Death, my nigga. Like, yeah,
Red Death.
he came with that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, he already had that shit on. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah, you know, so when it comes to Daniel Garcia, the sports entertainment side of things, I think was an interesting thing that he need to add it to, like just being more of a character. And this is giving, although the match is Chris Jericho versus, you know, Bryan Danielson, the centerpiece is Daniel Garcia. He's the main.
It's for the love of Daniel Garcia.
It's for the love of Daniel Garcia. He's the prize. You know,
Yo, this episode should be for the love of Daniel Garcia.
For the love of Daniel Garcia. But yeah, I believe that this storyline is one of the better storylines going on in AEW right now. The match that is culminating in, I don't know what they're going to give me. Obviously, they're saying it's you know, the Red Dragon. I mean, not Red Dragon. American Dragon versus America. What the fuck is Chris Jericho calling himself now?
Lionheart.
Lionheart, excuse me. Yes.
Lionheart.
Lionheart. I was on tip of my tongue, but I forgot completely. But at the end of the day, he should be somehow involved in this match, and I want to just tip my cap to that, because on the way to Buffalo, when he has a match with Yuta for the Pure Championship, this is where I think you crown this guy, because it just, not to hate on Yuta, he's had a great run, but Daniel Garcia for me is what the Pure Championship embodies in a sense. I think Yuta has a great style, which, by the way, that fatal four-way with Yuta, Roosh, Ray Phoenix, and Dante Martin, that pin that Yuta did was epic. That pin was like flawless, how he won that match, and the match was great as well. But
Can I
I want to see him. I want to see Daniel Garcia with some gold.
Can I pause right quick?
Yeah.
This casino battle royal match, that shit looked like a tag team turmoil. Do it not? It's Ray and Penta, Claudio and Yuta, Roosh and Andrade, Dante Martin, and then we got a Joker or a wild card.
Yeah, wild card. I don't know who that's gonna be.
I mean, shit, the way it look like it's gonna be Darius Martin. Nigga, like shit. Nigga, like,
it might be. I know, right? Bring back Leo Rush or Matt Sydal. I mean, they've been swapping him with any type of guy. At this point, is it for a title shot?
It's for an AEW title shot. So my thing is, out of those people in that match, who do you see? I mean, Moxley had a great match with Roosh. Roosh was hella strong in that match. He looked like, I mean, he's a fucking book. You know what I'm saying?
But Toro Blanco, I call that for a reason.
who do you think fits in that championship match?
I'm so, man, I have no idea, man.
Yo,
I have no idea. I told you MJF, just put him in there, have him win the shit. But the guys that they're in the match with, I have no idea who they're. It could be somebody that I have no clue.
They fucked over Andrade, right?
I would love to be Andrade, yeah.
No, they fucked over Andrade. Can we say that?
They fucked over Andrade.
When he came in with the gold, with the green suit, with the gold pendant, and the motherfucker said, "I'm gonna be the face."
They did. I will say this, but they're rehabilitating him. I'll tell you right now, they're in the process of it. That Matt Hardy MFO or chief CFO bullshit, that stunted his growth completely. But now he took over the group. He's now trying to approach everybody and trying to hire them. You know, he might take over 10 from the Dark Order. Like, I think I see that coming if he can hire him. You know, he say, "Yo, you come over here with us." You know, you take off the mask. He's trying to get him to join.
Yeah, he tasered that nigga. You think
he didn't? They threatened to taser him. They didn't taser him.
They did taser him, bro. Or did he hit Uno with the crutch.
Yeah, he hit Uno with the crutch, and then they hit the taser. Like, don't like get up, like kind of like threatening him, like like don't like because he, like don't try to fight back, pretty much
Oh,
kind
I
of
thought
thing.
they hit homie with the
I
joint.
thought for a second too. I rewinded it. I was like, no, he didn't hit him because
Nah,
if they hit him with it, then it's like, all right, you can't join these guys. But they got Hangman Page now. They don't need number 10. Whatever. And he's he's a big guy. Take off the mask and join Andrade. But yeah, Andrade with some muscle behind him, with Roosh behind him, Dragon Lee, going after the AEW
bro,
championship. I
they
think it's
keep
time.
dragging Lee ass after he lost, nigga.
They did. I missed it.
Last week when they lost to the trios to Kenny and they beat the shit out that nigga, took his mask off, nigga. Kicked that nigga out the group.
Damn.
Bitch ass out of here, nigga.
Dragon Lee is built, dog. Like yo, that dude is in shape.
But that's what I'm
Um,
saying. Roosh is his big brother, my nigga.
yeah,
Like come on, bro.
but he's
Like,
bigger than Roosh. Dragon Lee's bigger than Roosh.
you think?
Yes, I saw when they face each other, Dragon Lee's bigger and more in shape than Roosh. But Roosh is definitely a powerhouse in his own right. But uh, this match, I don't know who takes it. I mean, they might give it to Antonio, they might give it to Andrade, but those are only two I can see really out of the people that are listed, unless the Joker or the special the secret entrant pulls off the victory, which I don't know.
Now, since we mentioned Hangman, we're just gonna finish running through AW and then go through the rest of the week.
Mhm.
You mentioned Hangman. Hangman told the Bucks, "Can't be a partner. I want to step out. I want it to be Dark Order's moment." Dark Order ran into some injury problems. Hangman steps in. That's going to be the story, right? As easy as 1, 2, 3, right? We don't have to make it
More
anything
complicated than that.
cool.
I think he wins it then. Dark Order
Really?
wins it. I think Dark Order hasn't had gold, and you can't not put gold on these guys after all the work they've done in AEW. They've been doing this for years and not doing shit. So Hangman
Having,
gives them
having,
that.
having them a -1 hold the title and shit like that, that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
him, Hangman, John, what's his name?
Hungry. John Silver.
John Silver, Hangman, and the other dude. Um,
Yeah, I do not know the other dude name, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yo, we've been struggling. We like, hey man.
This has been one of this pod we've been struggling. Listen, we'll get back next week. We'll be sharper with this shit. It's been a minute, but yeah, I do think that
We've been
they
struggling with the name of the episode.
yeah we've been struggling. We've been struggling. But I will say this: I think that I'm choosing the Dark Order for this. Hangman gets a title with his boys. Finally, they can just wrestle for a couple months together, and then he can leave them. And maybe he'll turn heel eventually one day. I don't think it's time for Hangman to turn heel. I think he's still rocking that baby face, and I think he's to be the guy who puts the thorn in the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega's side and wins the championship when they were kind of like coronated as the first, almost like pre-coronated as the first trios championship. Would be cool, and to do with his boys who he's been telling the story with for a year since he since before he even won the championship. He had been with the Dark Order with this thing, and they kind of got him back, to get the confidence to win it. And then now he's helping them to win their first championship. That will be dope story to tell.
Okay, AW, not to cut you off, but here we are. We about to nigga first. Okay, another cool before we completely leave AEW alone and do our
We gotta do a Book in Black.
Yeah, we gotta do our Book in Black. That's what I was just about to say.
Okay.
We're gonna do our preview show, but I gotta talk about Excalibur, bruh, and production. Tony Khan, give that nigga more than 47 seconds to say 47 liners, my nigga. This nigga is like, and then we got nigga, it's this that nigga. And he was stumbling, he was rumbling, he was fumbling, he was Chris Berman on that motherfucker. That nigga was rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. There he is. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was out here fucking.
I think that's where he gets his shine. Like when he can just run through all that shit. That's where Excalibur. That's why they pay him to just run through all this.
Man, they need to pay him to breathe, nigga, because he's gonna fucking pass out in that motherfucker.
Yeah, I do like that they added the motion graphics for the title matches. That was pretty cool. For All Out, like they used to do back in the day in WWE.
So our book in black is part of our predictions.
Hmm.
So do you want to go through the predictions and stop at our book in black, or do you just want to do our book in black and have that go through to our predictions?
Let's do our book in black and go into the predictions for the show. So,
Okay, so
book
our
in black.
book in black for the week is Athena. Okay, Athena is
Warrior
going to
Goddess.
be headlining the Warrior. Yes, the Warrior Goddess. She's going to be headlining up against Jade Cargill, uh, who is the real goddess. Okay, and they are going to be sure they gonna like
Let's
you
keep
know
it.
let's keep it a book. Okay, you know what I'm saying. You may be nigga Viola Davis from this motherfucker, Warrior King on this motherfucker. But that is a Nubian motherfucking Amazon goddess right there, brother.
She's.
With like 10 packs, nigga. I ain't never saw 10 packs from the woman before ever.
I've never seen a Tempest look so good. Honestly,
Nigga,
uh,
bruh. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so it's not about Jake. I'm
not
sorry.
about Jade. It's about Athena.
It's
Let's
not
go
about Jake.
smooth
It's about
past it.
Athena. It's about Athena. Okay, Athena. Do you believe Athena dethrones Jay Cargill?
I'm not
Yes or
opposed.
no?
I'm not opposed it, but no, I'm not. I think that she definitely has enough steam to be the one. It has to be a great match though, and I watched Athena. I haven't seen her have that match in a minute. I saw her and Swerve actually have a match recently on an independent show. It was on YouTube,
Yep.
and they did a great job telling the story and showing it. It was great. And I saw Athena, and I'm like, yo, she still got it. Like she's still really good. But if her and Swerve like that, if him overpowering her and all that match, if they can make Jay do the same fucking match, I'm for it. You like if they, but Swerve won the match. But if they can do the same fucking match that they do with someone like almost beat for beat, where she's just too slick, and she might pull out a victory on Jade, and Jade's shocked, like, oh shit, like the reign's over. That's what I would like to see. I don't know if she has because the way they built the match, I like it. It was cool, but I don't think that I want Athena. I wish the best for her. Like I do. She hasn't been. She hasn't held gold since her NXT run, and I think that TBS championship will be awesome. To be on her. For it to go from one black woman to the next. Before that too. Let's show our black women wrestlers love and give them the platform to increase their value, put title on them. Obviously, Jade is the full package as far as a star presentation. Does she need the TBS championship? Maybe not. I think that, but I think it has to be a match where Athena overcomes the odds, whether it be the baddies interfering, and she finally achieves the victory and becomes TBS champion. This means more to me than the women's championship fatal four way, as far as I'm concerned,
Of
and how
course,
they
it's
tell
still
this.
beautiful black women.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
not just because they're black, but I
I gotta
think the
chill.
story
They
going
got
into it.
beautiful black bitches, but I can't do that on the YouTube.
She
We
just
get
did.
yo, we no. I did not. Yo, we still to this day get comments from like niggas just coming across the baddies joint when I was like, you know what I'm saying? And we so I gotta chill out.
Yeah, we used to have a nigga counter. We need a bitch counter.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, because I be saying bitch
we
sometimes
used to,
too.
yo, you
But
know
I
what?
was smart enough in that video to shut my mouth.
You did.
Chill.
And also, I don't mind putting, like you say, I want all the smoke, so I didn't mind it. But then when
Mhm.
niggas was just like, we can't watch it, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I understand it's not common. It's not comedy the way we think it's comedy to say, yo, these bitches about to get it in. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. I mean, I always say Jay calls herself that bitch, so I call her that bitch. Is it wrong? Like, I don't know. The way the world is today, like you can get canceled for nothing that is like I don't know. You might not even mean it the way that people are saying. It's all interpretation nowadays. It seems like, but with that being said, they're both incredible performers. I just need Jay to have that match,
Jade
and
needs to have that match. Athena does not.
yeah,
So, not now. I understand what you're saying. Athena hasn't had that showing, grand stage, big like
yeah,
Oscar at a takeover.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I get that, I understand that, but Jade has not had a dance partner like
like
Athena.
Athena, yeah, and I need
So
her to have
I'm
that
more
match.
looking to see if Athena can lead Jade, right? Booking
Mhm.
Athena, if she can lead Jade, then I think that she will have left Jade in better condition to take the title off of her, because I honestly think Jade and Tony Storm, Jade and Jamie Hayter, Jade and fucking Britt Baker are all matches that need to have happened. So I think Athena does need to take this title off of
If
Jade
I was
and
Tony
push her.
Khan, yeah, if I was Tony Khan, I I almost would have given Athena the women's championship and gave Britt Baker the match with Jay Cargill. Whether it was for either title. I honestly think Britt Baker and Jade is the top money match in the women's division that we have not seen yet. However, hey, we haven't gotten it. That's what I would have booked towards All Out. It's all good. Athena's just, I think Athena is she deserves a spot just as much, and I believe that what I well, you hear what I'm saying with, like, Athena having the certain type of match. I don't want it to be uh like an average match and Athena wins the title. No, I need Athena to take Jade to the limit and Jade take Athena to the limit, and in loss in her losing the title, she also wins by having that awesome match. And that's what I mean. So yes, it is on Jade to have a great match, and she may be that bitch, but she needs to have that match that we can say, you know what, you've arrived as far as having, you know, even the memorable moment in the ring. I think we can see her memorable promos, we can see her memorable stature, her memorable entrances, her memorable gear, her the way her images on, her memorable photo shoots, all that shit, flawless. But until you have that memorable match that people say, man, this is awesome, where they just, and not just because they're being nice, like they're doing it because, like, you definitely got that crowd to that heightened level, then I think that, will be satisfied, and I think that Athena can be the one to get for that, because that's all I really want. No matter who wins it, I'm gonna be happy, but that match needs to deliver.
I think Athena, as we stay in here, to booking her. We said that secondary title needed to be a worker's title. Jade works with it, but isn't a worker, right? So I don't want to disparage anything that she's doing or anything that she got going on, because she has, like, she's the inaugural champion. She's made that championship matter, but we thought that that was going to be a workers' championship, right? Just like the TNT championship. I don't think Warlow, like, this is my thing. If AEW is going to give us the best that they can give us, separate those two. Give me Motor City Machine Guns one on one with FTR on the card.
I would love that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, because,
And Jay Lethal one-on-one with Wardlow. Actually, I don't know if that's a match that we want to see,
but I don't
but
think, but that goes back to me. Warlock, this goes back to what I'm talking about now, the TNT Championship. That was supposed to be an elevating title. When Brody grabbed that title, and when Cody took it off of Brody, I was like, that's going to be the legacy of that title. I want, and it has been, because
but Cody had a bunch of great matches with it, though.
I understand that, but I mean that he had a bunch of great matches that did not elevate the title or make him any bigger.
It did elevate the title. I think Cody's run with the TNT Championship is probably the more memorable runs that we've had with that title, more than probably anybody.
No, I think of Miro and Darby with the title. I think
Yeah,
I like there like is Brody, Miro, Darby, Cody that, and I'm just off the
I
rip,
got no, yeah, and you got a point,
and I,
but
and I
but I think there's no other title that Cody could have had. Like it's just he said he wasn't gonna get the main
well,
title.
that goes back to the ethos of the company. Nobody pigeonholed Cody not to put himself as a champion. Like he didn't have to go out there and give that proclamation for us. He did that for himself because I don't know why he did that, but I understand he was just like,
Well,
I'm not gonna be.
the optics. If you're EVP and you become champion, you're Jeff Jarrett, pretty much. If
Why?
you're
I mean, we don't think of Kenny Omega as Jeff Jarrett, bro. We think it's Kenny Omega is one of the greatest AEW champions that had the title, nigga.
only because he wasn't champion for like a year and a half, and he did a whole bunch of shit. I think that if he was the first champion, or if he got put in his first couple of matches, like
Cody was, but that's the thing. Cody was not, and my thing was Cody was never in a situation, and I know we're derailed right now, but Cody was never in a situation where he had to put himself in a make or break situation. He could have just said, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable being champion and running the books, so I won't." He don't say I don't. He never had to put the never in there because once you say never, we pay attention to that. He can just say at the moment there are guys more deserving, and as the person that holds the pin, I will not put myself in that position.
But
That's
I
true.
don't. I hear you, and I get your point on that.
And
But
Cody didn't even have to be TNT champion,
but
nigga.
I do think that he helped the TNT Championship. I honestly do believe that. Like him and Brody was a great match, and then everything he did with it afterwards, and then dropping it to Darby, like
Me,
all of that stuff worked.
me and you
He
talked
was the
about
guy with the name. He was the guy, not Darby. He was
I'm,
the guy who we knew.
well, I'm saying me and you talked about it in the moment, and I think that this is the
Yeah,
reason why
yeah.
I like the podcast is evergreen because I said that the Brody and Cody feud was too quick for it to matter that much for me. Now, I'm not going to say the match wasn't good or nothing like that, and yeah, the title changed hands and all that shit like that, but the story didn't connect,
I got you.
which
Yeah.
is why I'm looking at it because as and maybe here we go, hindsight being what it is, Brody was off TV that whole time dealing with health issues, which gave the run to Cody.
Yeah,
So
and
in,
maybe as a guy
in,
who's
in
like
hindsight,
EVP, like, let me come in here and hold this for a little bit and get people over with it. You're running backstage,
exactly,
you're doing things, you're making choices, making decisions, and you're
exactly.
making,
And
Darby wasn't
over
that guy yet.
and Darby was not got Miro was not there yet at the
Yeah,
time. We were still rolling with Kip Sabian. Speaking of that, what the fuck? What the fuck,
don't worry, man. It's the All Atlantic Championship.
bro?
I think you're gonna say a lot of what the fuck with the All Atlantic Championship because you're not gonna know half of the niggas that challenge for that title.
I'm not finna. I'm not going to hold you though. Listen, this goes back to the NXT Europe. I ain't gonna know half them motherfucking bean eating motherfuckers either, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you just got like them niggas eat toasted beans, bro. I don't know what the fuck that is, bro.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. If you saw half of the shit I was eating in Nigeria, you'd be surprised, man. But at the end of the day, um, I think when it comes to the TNT Championship with Wardlow, I do believe that he has to drop it at some point or have somebody who's on his level. And that's the thing. Jade and Wardlow is
Jada
the
Wardlow the
same thing because
same.
it's like you put this title on
Yes,
this dominating
yes,
figure, and then you're
yes.
stuck. You're fucking stuck because you don't have
Yes,
anybody
bro.
on their level that's
That's
either
what I'm
as big
saying,
and
bro.
strong or as the believable that can take it. So you're gonna have to find a creative way to get the title off them. And Wardlow, he's a main eventer. Like at the end of the day, he is. Let's get him and Morrissey in the match and have him defend it and win it. Eventually, he's a guy who's big and strong who you can get that Hoss fight with. You got guys like Hager who he's already beaten. Miro's a big guy who you can take it as a threat. But the TNT Championship to me, like when it was on Sammy Guevara, it was like, hey, that's where it should be. Like I was going out here putting on great matches week to week, and when it was on guys like that and Scorpio Sky. So I wanted to get it back to that. I think they did this to Wardlow because he he was over, and when you're over, you should get something, but you couldn't give him the world championship yet because CM Punk was there. So I get it, but now it's time to see what you do with it because you're not even having a TNT championship at all out defended. So you guys are fucking stuck. Figure
I
something
have
out.
to get, and let's talk about it. Let's run through the card real quick. So all right, so here we are, starting with Book and Black. Athena Jade Cargill. Who you got?
I got Jade.
All right, I'm about to mark these. Hold on,
That's
I'm
my
about to put these
prediction. Prediction's
notes.
Jade. I would
I'm
love
about,
Athena to win, but I'm predicting Jade.
all right.
How long has her reign been?
Huh?
Let me look at how long her reign has been.
I think she's been champion like 150 days or some shit like that.
No, it's longer than that.
Oh, it's longer than that. Okay. I bet. So I got Athena, you got Jade. All right. So
So in July, she was more okay.
all right. So do you want to do this pre-show or this zero show? This 0 hour show?
Sure,
Okay. Ishii versus Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston.
Ishii about to beat the shit out of Eddie.
She's been champion for 239 days, Jade.
Oh
And
damn. Oh man. 239 days.
yeah, champion. And she's been undefeated for well over 500 days, but they're not showing me the amount of dates. Um, but anyways, yeah, I take Eddie Kingston.
Okay, so you got Eddie. I got Ishii. I think they gonna have a homage to Japanese wrestling, of course. Which uh, I think Ishii wins. I think
All
Ishii
right,
wins.
you got Ishii, you got Athena, I got
Yeah,
Jade,
yeah.
and Eddie.
I'm gonna type them. I'm gonna throw them in our Google Drive.
Bet. You should throw them on
Uh,
Twitter too, just so everybody can see it.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, Pac and Kip Sabian, man, fuck out of here. We all better pick Pac, man. Okay, bet. Hook
They're
and
already in Cardiff. Oh wow, they're already there.
oh yeah, they landed in London yesterday.
Okay, cool.
We got Hook versus Angelo Parker. Both of us got Hook, right?
Hook, yeah. I forgot who Angelo
Okay.
Parker was. I was like, who the fuck?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I still don't know who that nigga is. We got the first the first match they got on here is Jericho Danielson.
Better be Danielson.
Yeah, for sure. I think Jericho. I think Jericho takes that L for Shizzle.
You do think so? Because I think that Jericho, he's the only guy who I'm like, he'll win a match that you know he should lose. And
I mean, what story are they gonna tell with fucking Danielson losing all these goddamn matches?
when Daniel Garcia versus Brian Danielson next for the
It just had that 2 out of 3
for the
falls.
pure championship though.
Okay, so you picking Jericho?
No, I'm picking Danielson. I hope.
All right, cool.
I can't pick Jericho. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got three matches that we all agree on right now. So we gotta pick a different one right here. Tony Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida. Who you got for the interim AEW Women's Championship?
It's either Britt Baker or Tony Storm, and I got Tony time.
You got Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, I know I've been said that I just for the sake, I'm gonna do Jamie Hayter.
What?
Jamie gonna get the win.
Oh, she ain't winning. Sorry, but I get it. You got blinded by the ass.
Listen. Hey, brother. I'm lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant.
All right, so this 6-man tag, House of Black versus Darby, Sting, Miro.
Miro and Darby Sting, easy.
Nah, House of Black. I got. So you picking Allen, Sting, and Miro.
Uh-huh. The Redeemer got this, dog. He
Ah,
has great promos, man. Like his Redeemer promos are ill.
I can't hold you. I can't understand shit he's saying.
It's
I'm
just
just,
like Bray. It's
I'm
just
just
like
listening. No, I mean I can understand what he's saying. I'm like, nah. I just he has the barrier. He has uh, the list right, and then he has just what are you talking about? Right? He has all that going together. You know what I'm saying? Does he like God? Does he fuck with God? Like, is he fuck God? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? If he is God, like you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really
he fights for God and he talks to God. God gives him orders, and sometimes he goes against God's orders. That's what I've taken from it. And I think that it can be kind of complicated, but you gotta listen. You gotta listen. It's all between the lines. Like you're a poet, you should be able to get this. Come on, It's metaphors and shit.
Okay. So you got Darby stinging out. I got House of Black. I think House of Black needs a win. They need a win.
Okay.
Jungle Boy and Cage. Well, it's not Jungle Boy and Cage. It's Jack Perry versus Christian Cage. So who you got?
Jack Perry. Okay. I
It's
got
not
Jungle
Jungle
Boy.
Jack
Okay,
Perry.
I got Jack. I got Jack. All right.
Okay, you got Jack Perry. Man, the crowd would hate it if Christian win, right?
They would.
I would love it. Go ahead. I'm gonna pick Christian. I'm gonna love that
Yo,
shit.
Christian has been great.
Yo, ain't no feel good stories over here. Nigga, Christian gonna eat that shit. Yo, and you know what's gonna hurt too? Luchasaurus gonna choose. He gonna like that dark side, nigga. And that shit gonna go. That shit gonna hurt Jack Perry's heart. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. And now we're gonna have Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus, and that thing gonna bang.
Yeah.
Understand that. So
After
Warlow,
beats him alive.
FT, yeah, that shit gonna slap. Warlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal, Motor City Machine Guns.
Come on.
What, Motor City Machine
No,
Guns?
fuck no.
Okay.
We're low and FTR
So,
not losing.
so the pinnacle's
Pinnacle,
gonna win.
yeah.
Okay. I think that big motherfucker gonna show up. I think the big nigga, the big nigga that's what sing.
Satnam Singh.
I'm fucking his name up. That ain't even that ain't his name. What's his name? Is that his name?
Satnam Singh.
Satnam Singh. Okay,
The Indian dude that has the ponytail.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be insensitive by just being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Satnam Singh. I think
He used to be on the Pacers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he gonna interfere.
Okay.
So
God, this guy Deadass was in the NBA. That's crazy.
Nigga, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy as fuck. You got the Pinnacle, and I got ROH niggas.
How many Indians have been in the NBA?
Oh shit, I don't even know. Shit, man, you put me on the spizz.
Yeah, I can't name one right now.
I mean, dude. I think he was actually touted as like being the first, Indian-born player, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so this Casino Battle Royale, I know we asked earlier about that. What you got for that? Who do you think is going to win the Casino Battle Royale?
This is tough because we don't know who the mystery guy is.
I mean, you can just say mystery guy. It's like a drawing. Like, we don't know what entry 27
lottery
is.
ticket. Fine, fuck it, mystery guy. Why not?
You got mystery guy.
Yeah.
I got Andrade has to win, bro. For me, and he has to win. Whether it's against Moxley, whether it's against fucking Punk, Andrade gotta win that.
Okay.
Hobbs and Starks, who you got?
Swerve and Glory. Oh wait, no. I mean Starks.
You got Starks?
Yeah.
I got Hobbs. I got Hobbs.
It's gonna be a good one.
That is gonna be a great one.
Okay.
That is gonna be a great one. Storytelling gonna be like a motherfucker in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here we got tag team titles. Swerving our glory, right? We both going with that? Or
Yeah.
you guys okay. Like I said, if you think the Acclaim, I got something to tell you, man. I don't think so. I bet. So the tournament,
I'm
who
gonna
you
go with
got?
Dark Order.
You think Dark Order's gonna win that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Dark Order wins that too. Last but not least, Moxley Punk. Who you got?
Moxley Punk. Ooh, it's tough. Man, I'm going Punk. See in Chicago. I know it sounds crazy, but like I said, this is just beginning. So if Punk loses, like his career is over. So I think Punk wins this
I think Punk wins only through interference.
through
Uh,
MJF.
yeah.
I can't see that
All
being the case, but I hear you. I agree with you on the winner though. But I do think he'll cheat and win.
right, AEW, get the fuck up out of here. We talked about y'all niggas for an hour. Fuck, man.
Long time, yeah.
One,
All
two.
these damn go home shows. Shit, we gotta do a couple of reviews. You wanna go to NXT?
Yeah, let's do NXT real quick. Okay, so
Ricochet. Listen, Ricochet and Braun Strowman are the same thing on both ends. They're
what?
two guys who do things in that ring that nobody else can do. They're two spectacles that I think are valuable pieces that anybody would want on a roster. Braun in a different aspect. We'll get to him later. But Ricochet saying he's going to give Carmelo a match that we remember. I'm here for it, dog. And it was a great promo from him.
Did he tell a lie? Do you remember any of Melo matches?
Listen, don't put me on the spot like that. I can't hate on Melo. He's had a great performances in the ring with Johnny Gargano. He's had with Santos Escobar. Now, do I remember every single move and how the finish was?
No,
No.
no. I'm just saying. Neither do we. I mean,
I
I know.
know him.
Ricochet has him getting backflip super kick, but we don't remember the finish. You did. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a 6:30, but like we don't understand the. We don't remember the sequence. Like so, like him having the reign. I remember him going against Pete Dunne and getting that shit interrupted. But like I don't remember all his shit.
I remember him in Velveteen Dream, them trying to outdo each other,
Yeah.
and all that shit was cool. Like the way his matches were, they were dope. They were pretty cool.
So I mean, as Rico was talking, I'm like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Tone it down a bit.
But he's talking shit, like I like that he got to get the mic and talk and sound like the old Ricochet. It's like you go to NXT, you become somebody different. Weird. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this match at One Was Correct. Probably my most anticipated match now that they added this to the card. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good show, but now I'm like, oh, I gotta see it. I gotta see this.
Yeah, and I gotta be there live. I gotta.
Oh yes, you're gonna be there live, yo. Good for you.
I got to. I'm waiting on them to send me the email back. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta do the survey now and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, we'll sing. You don't call us, we call you. You know? So
they're getting
hopefully I am
Jackson brand new now. We're at the freaking CWC.
But hopefully I am there in attendance to see Ricochet and Melo. So do you want to do Worlds Collide the card and then talk about the show? Or do you want to talk about the show?
We can talk about the card and show.
All right, so as the card unfolds, we'll talk about the show. Melo was like you say, talk this shit. He was not on the card. He came out, talked this shit, had a promo, and Ricochet interrupted my nigga and said, "How about, like you just said, give you a match that niggas will remember." So that's how we ended up getting Melo and Ricochet from Tuesday. Now, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter had a match on NXT that I honestly fast forwarded through. I am not about to lie to you. I did not watch that match, okay? But what I did see, are you frozen? You good?
I'm here.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not. Am I still
Okay.
frozen?
Yeah, you are. You are. Give me 1 second. I'm about to bring you back on. Hold on. Um, got the countdown coming up. All right. Damn, you came back frozen. What's going on, man?
I'll hop out and hop back in 1 second.
Okay, man, appreciate you. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for that. I'm gonna bring that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, proper thoughts. Okay, I'm bringing you back in, Chidi. You ready? All right, boss. Um, so I appreciate that, man. And as Katen as Katana Chance, Katen Carter had a match that I fast forwarded through. Dewdrop, Nikki ASH pulls up and say that they want a match at fucking um, Worlds Collide. That I think will be a great test for Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I think they need that experience to wrestle against in order for them to get that. You know what I'm saying? Get kind of some chinks in that armor. You know what I mean? Like they need to have some real adequate challengers to make them, be, real life competitors. You know what I'm saying?
Down,
Oh, your mic's down. Your mic's down.
hello?
Yeah, but I can barely hear you.
What's going on, bro? Hello?
Yeah. I can hear you, but you're low. So I'm not sure if it's coming out a different audio source right now. Okay, I hear you loud and clear now.
What's up?
What's going on? Okay, you back.
All right.
You back,
So,
brother.
thank you, Prof, for 25 thoughts. Appreciate the kind words. But yeah, when it comes to the NXT Tag Team Women's Division, Women's Tag Team Division, Casey. Oh, I keep getting calling her Casey, but Katana Chance. Just call her Katana or call her Chance. Don't call her Katana Chance. I don't like that name,
The
but
Donna's
then
KC.
it is actually. But then just call her Casey. Shit, just delete this shit. But her and Kaden Carter, yeah, like you said, they need reps with quality competition, and I'm for it. You know, Dewdrop and Nikki ASH or Nikki Cross, as I like to call her, are not doing shit on the main roster. So this is a good time for them to get some action in NXT, and I'm
Well,
glad that
it was just in the tournament. They lost.
they lost. They ain't doing shit. There was
Oh,
no.
we got to talk about the tournament. I know we bouncing around, but
Go
we got to
ahead.
talk about the tournament. Did you trip on how it ended?
Yeah, I was confused. I'll be honest with you. Didn't Toxic Attraction win the match?
What match?
They won their qualifying match, and the next thing you know, there was a fatal four-way for the last
No, they
spot.
lost. They lost in the tournament. They lost in that tournament.
To who?
To hold on, I gotta pull it up. Yeah, I totally derailed this segment. Yeah, let me give you 1 second. Let me find out because they definitely lost in that tournament. Bro. Hold on. Oh, you got it. You bringing it up?
I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I remember they won. Yeah, Gigi and JC beat Natalia and Sonia, and then the next thing you know, it was the winner of the second chance. I'm like, was there an injury?
No, yes, Gigi couldn't perform. Gigi couldn't perform overseas when they went to Canada.
Word?
Yes,
For
so
what?
I don't think she got her passport, or might be something. I can't go to Canada, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
you know,
but
I
I thought
can't.
she's not banned though, right?
No, she's not banned.
Okay, it was just some paperwork. She didn't get
It might
passed
be
for
some
it.
paperwork shit. It might be some medical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Niggas might not want to take the shot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
So
you know,
yeah,
so
JC,
so so yeah.
JC's been getting a lot of love lately. Like people have been saying that JC's better than Gigi as far as on the mic and in the ring. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking to see him, but I like both of them honestly. They both seem that they have a future in like as single stars, but they beat Natalia and Sonya, and I was like, what the fuck happened? And then they got the second chance, fatal four way, and I was like, what?
Well, I
Kind of.
I think for the most part though, even if Toxic Attraction was going to be in the tournament, like they weren't going to win.
They were going to lose to Raquel and Leah, probably. You're right. They were probably going to lose to Raquel and Leah, and I was just confused after that. Now, if it was Toxic Attraction versus Io and Sky, I wouldn't have minded. I mean, Io and Dakota Kai, I wouldn't have minded either. I'll be honest. But the way it ended, to me, Raquel and Aaliyah seem like a makeshift tag team again.
Absolutely.
So am I mad at it? It's like it's the same thing as when they put Raquel with Dakota Kai in a sense. However, that made more sense because they had history together, and then they built actually, time together as a tag team, which we bought them, and then they had a feud afterwards.
Now I can say this too. Also, just to piggyback off of what you was just saying, Aaliyah and Raquel, we talk about need more, right? Even though people say that tag team division, now those tag team titles don't mean anything now. Again, it does. A lot of niggas didn't like Mandy Rose winning the championship, right? And despite what we gotta say, nigga, Mandy done put on some bangers.
Tell me one.
Her last drink was actually with the Bland chick. What's the drink? The one her Nikita Kai's Nikita Loyens tag partner.
Yeah, Alba Fire.
No, Nikita Lyons partner.
Oh, Tess. What the fuck is his name? Forgot.
That's right.
Bro, yo, we've been struggling this top five.
She bland as hell though. So
I told you gotta turn her heel, man.
But she get busy in the ring though.
Yeah, she does.
Like,
but what the fuck is her name? Yo, what the fuck is her name, man?
It's Stark, right?
Tony Stark. Oh, okay.
No. It's Janie. Fuck it. We just gotta.
I gotta Google it, man.
We just gotta look it up, bro.
That's why she didn't win. Zoe Stark. There you go.
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark.
Again, but the match was good though. You dig me?
It was okay. It was okay. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just not a Mandy Rose fan.
I know you bias on Mandy though too. You dig me? But that goes back to what I'm talking about. Mandy having a championship, Aaliyah and Raquel having a championship right now. You look at fucking Casey, right? We talk about Kane Carter and like them inexperienced champions. Like you got to give them championships.
You got to give them matches. You don't got to give them championships. You got to give them matches. I do think that Casey Kentons are whatever her name is, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter deserve the title. I think that they've had enough reps as a tag team. I genuinely do believe that them versus Doudrop and them is not like an inexperienced tag team versus an inexperienced tag. I think it's a legitimate match. I think I want to see.
I think also too, they try to build a Cinderella story where we didn't care about Aaliyah and Raquel, which they did. Like the nuance in that, right? They built a fucking thread of, hey, we're gonna throw this tag team together. Nobody's gonna care about them, and they're gonna win it. Because as you see them in the fucking finals, you're like, why is this the finals? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden they win it, and you're like, huh. Okay.
Yeah, I think that Io and Dakota in every universe should have won that match, other than this one, obviously. But it's It is what it is. I look at it like that. I'm still waiting for Sasha and Naomi to return and see what they do with them next. I know we got um, they have a show in Boston coming up soon, so the people are predicting that maybe Sasha could have returned then on Raw. But we'll see what goes. Oh wait. What pay per views after Clash of the Castle?
Extreme Rules, Extreme Rules, which is where I said we need to have Bailey and Bianca.
Oh yeah, we got to. Yeah, so that's going to be in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. All
Yep.
right, but yeah, I think there's a show coming up on SmackDown or Raw where they're predicting Sasha might show up. We'll see. We'll see what goes down with the women's division. As the tag team division goes, I have no investment in Aaliyah or Raquel. As far as NXT goes, this do drop Nikki ASH, Nikki Cross versus Kaden and KC's match. It works. It works. I think it works for Winning Worlds Collide, especially the fact that they're bringing in, Raw and SmackDown for the pay review. I like it. I like it. There's not just UK versus NXT. It's like all the worlds are colliding. You got Ricochet from SmackDown. You got Doudrop and Nikki from Raw coming in and getting title shots. Which is fitting. So it adds a little bit more entry to these matches. Now, do I see Nikki and Doudrop winning? No, I see them taking the L. So we'll move on, and we'll see what.
Um, I think them being there though, like you say, it matters, and I think that, like you say, once we
Yeah,
get it, like again, Dakota Kai and Dakota Kai or Sky and whatever, the fuck, them winning the tag team championships, I think does look a little bit different going into Cardiff. But at the same time, we say it's not a necessity. It just would have been like a sprinkle on top a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I do understand, but I do understand though. Between now and Extreme Rules, all three of them will have to have had gold, right? Bailey will have to have defeated Bianca, and they will have to be tag team champions
you think that has to happen?
in order for control to matter. Because
I
I'm not
don't think
saying
that titles make the stable matter. I think the stables make the title matter. Has Control garnered enough traction that you put Bailey as women's champion over Bianca Belair? I think that when Nexus came around and John Cena was around, yeah, you could have put the title on Wade Barrett, but John Cena is that dude. Right now, Bianca is that woman.
yeah, but
That
Wade
one.
Barrett is not Bailey. Bailey, we like legitimately like Bailey could have took the title off of Bianca, and we could have had fucking Bailey and
My
Sasha
point is that
main event.
Bianca is John Cena. That's my thing. It's like I'm not saying that. I think Bianca is like the pinnacle right now. You're gonna need somebody to really step it up. Now, could there be some interference and everything with Control and Bianca loses it? Yeah, absolutely. Um, is it called Damage Control?
I think something like that. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if the fans made it up or if that's what they actually call them. So let's just call them Damage Control. Um, yeah, I will see, and that's what I like about this angle because we're not hot shotting this. Like we're gonna get the 6-way, which I think was gonna be great at Cardiff. I think that the 6-woman tag match is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be probably one of the best matches on the card. Depending on how long they get. So and then we get to build it slowly to this, one-on-one fight with Bailey and Bianca, which you've been waiting for about a year, so a year plus. So I think that this slow build and Bianca, having her reign, continue is the right way to build it. Um, but yeah, are we still talking NXT or we move past that?
No, we can't. No, we're still NXT. We just got wrapped up in women's tag team and that. So we can go ahead and talk about how former NXT champions of past were popping up on the show, and how very fucking cool that was to see, and how a lot of them did not break character of who they are in the main roster, but also brought back, because that's who they are, right? They don't leave who they are when they leave there. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
used to.
yeah, I mean, but we don't talk about what we used to do.
I mean, Tommaso didn't come down in the Miz's gear. He came down in his "No One Will Survive" shirt. He threw that chair down and he had his chat with Braun Breaker. You know, Finn Balor came back out. He didn't come out with anything to do with Judgment Day. He just said, "Yo, he had respect," and they gave. I think the one I liked the most, honestly, was Miko Satomura and Alba Fire, even though that wasn't like people from the main roster. Just she's like, I want it from a great champion. And she's like, you go out there and win. Like, I thought that was a mutual respect kind of thing that happened over there with them. That was just subtle, and that's all you needed. And then we had Shayna and Mandy, which was interesting as well.
Look at this cable bill. Well, what if I told you that you
Rhea
could get
came down. Now, wait a minute. Rhea came down to talk to, what is that woman's name?
Blair
Blair
Davenport, I believe.
Davenport.
Blair
Yeah, so
Davenport.
Blair Davenport, she is in is that match a triple threat with her,
Yes.
Miko, and Mandy? All right.
Yep.
I didn't see her get added, so like I've been in and out, looking at all
Yeah.
this stuff.
I believe she had already had a match with Miko, or she was like number one
Okay.
contender over there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
In UK. So they were just like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and make it a 3-way. You know what
Do
I'm
you
saying?
think that she wins this and then holds both titles up? Like, I was able to defeat
Well,
them.
I mean, ultimately, like, that was what Rhea told her. Is like, listen, I'm the only one that held both. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you would be in high pedigree and the hierarchy of what this is if you could do that. Now, honestly, I think that when you're talking about NXT in a remake of that, I think you're gonna have to give one back to Europe, and I would say that she is the one to take that title. You know what I'm saying? Because Mandy and Toxic Attraction, send them on up. You know what I'm saying? Miko, she ain't fucking working no schedule in Orlando. I can tell you that.
How
She
you
ain't.
know? How
She
you
gonna
know?
be just like Shinsuke in Orlando, nigga. Surfing like a motherfucker, man. What you talking about? I ain't working. I ain't coming out here to work, nigga. Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
I
Blair
think
Davenport, I haven't seen her work. I haven't seen her really. So, but
she's
it would be an interesting twist.
before known as Bria Priestley. So working out
Oh,
in
I know Bea Priestley. I remember that. She was in the Mae Young Classic. She was in Evolve, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, hopefully she's gotten a lot more power since then because she was like cool, but I thought that she needed some more. She was green like the last time I saw her. But
Well, I would say the same thing about Tony Storm too. You know what I'm saying?
she's still green to you?
No, when I originally saw her,
Okay,
when I
yeah, okay.
originally saw Tony, I know she had the appeal. You know what I'm saying? But now
hmm
Tony's one. So and also listen, we talk about Will Ospreay. They used to be in a relationship together. Usually, what we usually see in wrestling more often than not, relationships in the business kind of help. It's beneficial, right? We see Charlotte and Andrade. We see Montez and Bianca. You know what I'm saying? We seen you know what I'm saying, Triple H in China. They get like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being with somebody in the business helps you when you crafting yourself. So hopefully her being on this main stage and in this match is you know a nod to her improving, like you said.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. I
know what I
mean,
mean?
she definitely has a look that you're gonna say, "Oh, I remember her." Definitely seems like dark, you know. But I would say this: her work matters. So if I haven't seen her in the UK, I'm giving a chance at this match. The way the match goes, we'll judge on that. Hopefully, she's grown in her. I think the relationship part of things matter as far as when you're dating somebody in the same industry, you're kind of like aligned with your work. They understand your work. You're not like dating somebody who you have to explain what you're doing. And then you guys can also say, hey, I want to get better at this. You want to get better at this, and you're working on the same thing. So I do think that I think that's one of the benefits of working or dating somebody who's in the same field as you. If I were to date another podcaster, we'd have more aligned visions on what we can do better. However, that doesn't guarantee you being great at your job, you know.
No.
So
I do think that if you, like you say, if you, we just gave credit to Will being a great worker,
absolutely,
and you're only a great worker if you put the work in. So
yeah,
if you're dating somebody and you see somebody that is holding their craft and you're in that same
I hear
craft,
you.
and you see them putting the work in, and you like that inspires me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I think that hopefully, like again, like I say, her being in the spot is possibly, that saying like, yo, all right, cool. Because we don't watch a lot of NXT UK. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that character built
They
over
let
there.
go of a lot of UK wrestlers, if I'm not mistaken, because I think they're making this NXT Europe thing going on now. Business and Logic, we haven't even talked about that, which we can tag it on the Patreon maybe.
We can just tap in right here with that. I mean, and lump it in because as they are releasing people, they are bringing back people. So, like, how do we feel about that? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
true. But yeah, do you want to leave a prediction on your NXT first, or do you want to move on?
So we got 5 matches for the NXT card. I don't really know what's going on with the mumbo jumbo in the tag team division. I kind of really don't care as long as they don't take the titles off the Creed brothers, right? That like okay. How about this? Creed brothers are pretty deadly. That's it.
I agree. Free Bell is pretty deadly. That's it. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with Gallus and all that. Even though Gallus may have to come in and, but I don't really know.
No, I like Gallus a lot. I just think they need more time. I mean, before they get the titles, I mean, get
Yeah,
them some reps in on TV in the US, where people seeing them, get used to them. Like Pretty Deadly, they can get the titles right away because once you see them, you get it.
yeah,
Like you either get it or you don't. But Gallus let them build their mean streak, and then get that victory down the line. I think they'll be a good tag team to take it off of Creed Bros, honestly, but not yet.
All right. So we got 5 matches for World Collide. Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes. Who you got?
Carmelo got it. He
Okay,
can't miss. He can't miss.
absolutely can't miss. All right. So we got to pick. Creed brothers are pretty deadly. Who you got?
I'm gonna kick it with the Creed right now.
I'm gonna do pretty deadly. Them and Last Legend. I think that's just fire, and they put some gold on them niggas. All right, we said Kane Carter and Katana Chance they win. All right, Blair Davenport, who you got winning?
You know what? We talked all this stuff about Blair. Let's give it to Blair. I want to see her win over Mandy at least. So Miko, is that Miko?
Yeah, Miko.
Yeah, Miko. She's a great wrestler. I've seen her matches. I just don't think she's the future. So I'm going with B Priestley or Blair Davenport.
All right, big one. Braun, Tyler Bate. Who you got?
You didn't pick on, but you didn't pick one.
Who?
The women's championship.
I said Blair.
Oh, you said Blair. Okay.
I said Blair. Blair is in upper echelon with Rhea.
Okay,
I think that works.
All right, and then Braun Breaker.
You got Braun winning?
Mm-hmm.
Braun got to win.
Braun Breaker needs a foe like Kevin Owens, man. He needs somebody who's just out to kill this nigga, and he hasn't had that yet. And Tyler Bate definitely is not that dude. Walter would have been that dude if they didn't call him up.
He better than JD McDonough, I can tell you that, nigga. He way better than JD McDonough. You want to talk about a non-memorable match? Nigga, I ain't never watched that shit, man. I don't think I watched a single rest hold of that motherfucking match.
There, you didn't see him bleeding.
I ain't seen not one punch being thrown in that motherfucker.
Yeah, but JD McDonough, he likes pain, so there's a point in the match where he was pretty much egging Braun Breaker on to hit him. It was interesting character work, but yeah, it wasn't spectacular. I'm curious to see where it goes next, though.
I think Braun. So me and you on the Braun, me and you on the Blair, me and you are on the
Women's tag.
Carmelo, me and you on the KC. The only thing we different is on the tag. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Pretty deadly. You got Creed. With that being said, like you say, let's go into this logic where um it's kind of twofold, right? Where you say NXT UK is folding, but NXT Europe is expanding. They letting go people. People are not really upset because they're bringing back people, but then they're upset about the people that they're bringing back. You know what I'm saying? So like, ultimately, I think the logic and what it is that we see in the business decisions is that they're just going to say, hey, we're continuing to monopolize it. We're not going to go ahead and sugarcoat it, but we're also going to say, hey, we got enough money to pay some people. You know what I'm saying? Like we not finna sit here and like after they got all the books and shit together and was like, okay, let's reassess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let's cut the fat and then
you
let's
know
go
what I
ahead
mean?
and like get some assets.
And
Yeah.
and I think Karrion Cross, whether we like it or not, is a pretty good addition if they can just cut the shit. Nigga, like
I like Karrion Cross.
everything
I just haven't seen him have a
gonna
great
be
match.
black and white, everything. Yeah, he can't have a great match until like who's like he's gonna cost Drew the title.
I think
We
Karrion Cross needs to have a match with Roman Reigns. He needs to have a match with the Seth Rollins. He needs to have a match with the Sheamuses. He needs to learn how to have that type of match. Because I don't think the guys he faced in NXT really taught him how to have that match. There are a lot of smaller guys he faced that he didn't necessarily make look great, as far as his work in the ring, He needs to learn how to do that. He needs to learn who Karrion Cross is in that ring and perform it. And I get it. Like he's wrestled for a while, like a long time.
Well,
But
I think he knows who he is, right?
I'm talking
I
about
think
like he might know who he is in the ring. I'm talking about knowing how to get the fans that translated to the fans and caring about your match. Now, because at the end of the day, what Adam Cole said to him was facts. You got the girl, you got the lights, you got the entrance, you got all that stuff. And where's the match quality? Like that's not good. Like you need because you can't sustain it just by because a year of doing this shit with Scarlett.
well
People like you're
let's
gonna
be
put that on
honest.
Corbin.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Him and Keith Lee, him and Donovan Dijakovic, they weren't necessarily, I won't say barn burners, but like let's be honest. Like
See,
I was never really a fan. I said he was a main roster superstar because he didn't have the work rate. And again, Roman ain't no motherfucking, you know.
Roman he has a work rate. He does. Like Roman works at a certain rate and he can slow the match down
That's what
and reserve his energy. And
that's what I'm
then he can speed it up.
what I'm
And he
telling
knows
you.
when to react to the crowd and get that going.
How are you basing this on when his fucking presentation was like, yeah, let's put him on the motherfucking sex harness and a motherfucking Farouk helmet and put that nigga out there. Nigga, like he did not have a good fucking first impression.
I think that we'll see on SmackDown. He's getting his first match, right?
And like you say, he wrestled small guys and they tried to accentuate his power against guys like Jeff Hardy and shit like that. Where I think that he needed to do exactly what he did against Drew McIntyre. Excuse me. If Karrion Cross's debut is him attacking a champion Drew McIntyre in the Thunderdome, he's set up for fucking life. it's all and none of this that you said right now matters because he done already came with the girl with the smoke and he attacked the big nigga and he can pause that. You know what I'm saying? He attacked.
There's nothing wrong with what you said. He tagged him a big nigga. So
Yeah,
what?
you're right. You're right. I just had to. You know what
he
I'm saying?
did, you know. But my thing is that, and I know we're off the beaten path with Karrion Kross. Like, who do I trust more to have a entertaining match, him or Braun Strowman? I like him as an act, like the way he presentation of Karrion Kross. But as far as the spectacle of Braun Strowman in the ring and what he can do with his power, I'm buying that, you know. And Karrion Kross, if he can translate that and get over, and that's because he reminds me of like a Psycho Sid, you know. Psycho Sid was great as far as his promos, even sometimes they were funny, but he was good as far as his look in the ring, his eyes, how he translated the psycho-ness of himself.
Psycho Sid is a really great game. I'm about to tweet that. Is
Yeah,
Karrion
Karrion Kross is
more
the
like
modern day Psycho Sid without the girl. You know, he Karrion Kross didn't. I mean, Psycho Sid didn't need a girl. All he needed to do was come out there and open his eyes and shake his head. That's all he needed to do. And I think that Psycho Sid didn't have the great matches. You know, it was a Shawn Michaels that needed to pull that out of him, and it still wasn't that great. You put Psycho Sid and Diesel in a match together, and no one wants to see that shit. You know, so I worry that because he doesn't have the destruction X factor of a Braun Strowman that can make you like, oh my God, he just put somebody through the table in the ring and the barricade. He doesn't have that, but he needs to find a way to translate. Like the Viper, Randy Orton, he's way about him in the ring is very sleek, very smooth. He picks you apart. You can see what he does in the ring to tell a story. Karrion doesn't have that. He just has matches. Like it's almost the same matches he's been having an Impact, essentially. So that's what I'm waiting for. If him and Drew can have a match, I'm gonna definitely tune in live for that. I'm gonna have my eyes peeled on that match and see how it takes place, whether it's for a championship or not. But I'm waiting to see that big match.
Well, I think that ties into what we said to what business and logic is. Is business and logic is, hey, Karrion, do you go and create who you are? Braun or Adam Shear, do you go out and create who you are? Do you or do you come back? Do you answer the phone? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because realistically, like you saying, if you don't give a fuck about him then, you ain't gonna give a fuck about him now. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
And honestly, like, does he like where's your bread butter then? If a nigga just bought out off of you, then like, fuck, I might as well just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so where do you see that as is like for, and also like coming, leaving it like WWE is not necessarily poaching talent from AEW right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just bringing back niggas that was just released. Dakota
there's
Kai.
rumors that there's tampering though.
What the fuck is tampering, bro?
I was talking to somebody who's under a contract at another place that you're not supposed to be talking to them about coming through, like and leaving for this company. I don't know what the rules are in this, because if there even is rules, because we don't have an organization for wrestling. We just have two different
There's no
companies.
collective bargaining, my nigga. There's no like. What are we talking about? Like you have as an independent contract, like you can't. Like what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like some of this shit is stupid sometimes. Like oh, we had a players only meeting for tampering. Why? Because Daddy H is back, nigga, and Adam Cole's looking around like, yeah, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas, it ain't tampering, niggas like shit. I signed too long. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Adam Cole, like, yo, Adam. I mean, he like, yo, Paul, can you pay the lawyer fee? Like, just pay me to get the fuck out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen,
whatever.
man, we don't know what Adam's doing.
I'm not trying to be for 5 more years, nigga. What are you talking about? Nigga, Cody got the fuck out this bitch and he owned the motherfucker. Like, what do you mean? Cody got the fuck
His
on,
contract
nigga.
ran out
Percentage in that
and he
motherfucker,
left.
nigga.
His contract ran out. He left.
Bruh.
But yeah, that's funny. yeah, do you leave? Do you come back? The Good Brothers said they're not going back, for a certain amount, and they got offered. They're not going back. I'm sure Zack Ryder's like waiting for some shit to happen. I don't. When it comes to bringing people back, I just want the right people brought back. I just want, like, when you give me a Dexter Loomis, I'm not biting on that. You give me a Karen Cross, okay, cool. You brought him back with better presentation. I'm waiting for the matches. You give me a Bailey, EO, and Dakota, hell yeah, I'm locked in. So it all depends on who is and what it is as far as me. Now, as far as the talent goes, you got to understand, what was your relationship with Triple H when you left, and what was your relationship with the people that, why did you leave? And do you trust them to do you right, whatever that means? I'm not sure if it's money for you. I'm not sure if it's time on the air. So everybody has their own, like, what are getting chips. There are people, even in the NFL, like, do you go to team because it's close to your hometown? Do you go because they give you the biggest contract, or do you go to their team because they actually have a slot open at you're at your position that you can start? So that's all different parameters for wrestling too. Do you go because, like, I know that I can provide something, like a Braun Strowman can say, listen, I can go anywhere, I can provide something back in WWE. I had a good time there, I got paid well, and I think I will have more fun without Vince there. He said so. He said yes, I'll do that. So he'll be showing up on Raw. That's the rumor, that he'll be back on Raw this next Monday. And honestly, as much as some people don't like Braun, I'm a guy who says he's one of those guys that is just an intangible to your show. I thought AEW should have picked him up, actually, because that would have been a huge get for them. I don't. Now, when you talk about tampering and all that stuff, yeah, AEW's fallen on some shaky waters because Triple H is now in town, and I think that they're noticing that people are kind of talking more about WWE with the next couple of weeks, or the past couple of weeks, or the past month, and their backstage environment hasn't been peachy for the past month. So there are gonna be conversations of, hey, should I stay here? Should I not? Some people are gonna be AEW till you die. I think that John Mox is one of those guys who, for the next foreseeable future, he's rock solid with AEW. But I'm not opposed to seeing Moxley return as Dean one day. I do think it's a possibility. If Sting can end up WWE, any of these guys can end up back in WWE. Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, they all can. So it's a matter of an individual decision and what that means to you. There are guys who would jump at the offer to come back, and I know even a Swerve and Keith Lee. I don't know if they're tag team champions for sure, but I know that if Triple H was in charge when they were there, I don't know, but if Triple H was in charge before they got released, they wouldn't have got released. I don't think they would have gotten released. I think Triple H would know how to use it.
I think Swerve and him. I mean, you see it. Like, Kid Rock was one of the first niggas I got a call when Paul was like, yo, I know it's about to get cold in Maryland. Nigga, come get on the road. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Tahuti Miles was like, shit, hell yeah.
Tahuti. You already know I'm there.
No more, nigga.
I'm waiting for this. Thank God. This shit happened with Vince. They're like, yes, Lord.
Yeah, I might have to go back home for the winter, nigga.
Nah,
first thing my niggas did in Florida was re-up that lease. Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a year. Go ahead and get that room ready.
Yeah.
Man, no, I think that goes, like I said, to kind of just, like you say, the decision of what it is kind of sports based as well. Like, we do things that kind of make us happy. I think for the most part, that with the current rosters right now, I think a lot of things are right. We talk about MJF contract situations, like he watching niggas come in, get the bag, get on, like damn nigga, like he don't even hold a candle to what I'm doing. But you got a nigga like CM Punk that's like, bro, like I sold out an arena on a rumor that I was coming, like the homie said, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas didn't know for sure if he was coming back, and I think that was a gag for like 2 years with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So like the very first All Out with Cody and
that's true.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like CM Punk has been like, can say exactly what he say what he said and mean it and it be true. But also like that goes to what I'm asking is like, and I guess we can't answer it because we're not them, but it's just a topic to throw out to people.
Yeah.
And it's just like when it is the decision to be made, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna try not to hold people to the decision that they made previous if the situation has changed, right? Because new information, new circumstances, new, you know what I mean? Like with new information, I have a new way of thinking. I will want you to make a better decision or have a different perspective of the decision you made. You know what I'm saying? Like
clearly Braun
was a free agent and was like, do I want to do what this nigga Vince say? Because I know he got full control and I'm gonna be a Max Dupree. You know what I'm saying? Like Adam Cole could have been a Maximum Male Models nigga. You know what I'm saying? And like we would have been like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But now we got this nigga as the Owen Hart tournament champion, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So like, you never know. You know what I mean? So,
clearly Braun Strowman wants to control his narrative and go back to WWE. So that's what he chose, and I think it's the right choice. I think the WWE with the Atlanta Giants, larger than life characters. And at the end of the day, you got to make the money too. So
and shout out and listen, Braun is not stupid, right? Braun, listen. I saw the house that Braun bought. Okay, I saw that nice piece of land that nigga got his property on. I don't know where it's at. I just know that it's huge, it's massive, and I know what my property taxes is. Okay, so I just got, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, nigga got to get that money. You know what I'm saying?
Got to get that money. So shout out to Braun. Shout out to anybody who's getting calls and rehired. There's one guy I'm waiting for. I think we're both waiting for. Hopefully we get to see him soon. We're looking for you, Wyndham. Hopefully you'll be back sometime soon.
We going platinum with this motherfucking is Karrion Kross Sid tweet because nigga it is all over the place right now. Niggas is like, what? Sid from Toy Story, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas is really just like we disrespected a nigga, you know? Sid, okay, should Sid be in the Hall of Fame? Like, what the fuck?
Sid was multiple time WWE champion. Sid faced Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. Yo, Sid should be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, so let's speed through. Well, not speed through, but let's get to Raw because Raw leads to Clash of Champions, right? So, kind of what on Raw did you want? Well, I mean, first and foremost, Riddle and Rollins. Okay, let's just get this out the way. And for those who are we got one video right now. Tune in to Patreon on Sunday. After the match, they gonna get down, but we also gonna talk about how that nigga Riddle get out. You know what I'm saying? Or allegedly. That's what. Fuck that. Allegedly get out. You know what I'm saying? So, but that promo, Riddle and Rollins. You know what I'm saying?
That was like he turned off the character for a moment. That wasn't Seth Rollins anymore. That felt like.
No, that was what's that nigga name? Franco? What's that nigga? What's that real nigga name? Nigga, deadass. I think that nigga, Seth Rollins and Lopez on the low, if I'm not mistaken.
Colby Daniel Lopez, and he's not. I mean, that's his like adopted father's last name. He's really, I believe he's like the same thing as Kardashians or something. I think it's what they call them, Armenian. Yeah. So Colby Daniel Lopez. So it was interesting because the promo happened. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you who really is a man," and that's Becky, and then everything ended. And then you come back from break. It's like, "Oh yeah, this happened a moment ago." He's like, "You still there, Riddle?" "Yeah, I'm still here." "You want to talk family, right?" He changed his whole tone. It was like, he's like, I forgot exactly what he said, but he's like, called him a bitch ass and said his family left him. And I was like, oh shit, they're doing this on TV. Like, and we had just talked about Riddle on the Patreon and like how, he's over here rolling on the mat with Liv. So he's a single man now. I would roll on the mat with Liv too if I was single. Shit, but at the end of the day, this this storyline, I think, took it that promo took it up another level. I think they've been brawling for months, and if and just randomly, randomly brawling, and that's what the whole story, the feud has been about. Is just like him trying to take him out and get out this thorn in his side, and Riddle bringing up that he's not as good as he thinks he is, and all that stuff. He's gonna beat him up like everybody else. So I'm curious more than anything to see the match, because I think that this match I want to see at SummerSlam. And I want to see them have a singles match, that would have, I think could have sold the show. So hopefully they can steal a show in Cardiff, Wales, and we can then, really get the one-on-one match that we wanted from Riddle. And so as I see Riddle rise the ranks, this is a marquee match for him. This is a staple. Like, this can be one of his staple victories or staple just matches in general that he can, add to his notch on his belt. Because Seth is obviously
this is gonna be the best match. This is gonna be the best match that Riddle has ever had in his life.
okay.
No lie. I mean, Riddle has performed all over the world with all over different performances. Performer Walker, Pete, Trent said, all these guys that wrestlers. This with the story, with the intensity, with the fucking real life animosity. This is going to be his fucking greatest match he has ever fucking wrestled. I'll put my standpoint.
Okay, and we'll see. I can't say the best match of all ever until I see it, but it definitely does have the potential.
I think for him now, this would be go. I am going to say just how this thing say, Tua's going to the Super Bowl. We don't know. He ain't played the game yet. You know what I'm saying? I think Seth.
Do you think Tua's going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You know what? We'll say this for the Patreon, and we'll have to. we need to have a talk about this. Tua for the Super Bowl. We got to talk about Matt Riddle and his other alleged allegations, and we'll talk some other shit too, as well. But at the end of the day, this should be the match of the night if the woman don't steal it.
Well, I mean, so this is the card. We got Edge, Ray versus Judgment Day. I don't see how Riddle and Rollins is going to steal it from Sheamus and Gunther. Sorry. I think we're actually going to see like a literal on TV, because you can't say that live on YouTube. Right? Somebody's going to on live television. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. It's going to be a good show. Put it that way. It's going to be a good show because they have multiple matches that can sell show. It all determines on the time given and how they build it. But I think that Seth Rollins and Riddle genuinely have a storyline going into it to boot. So yeah, let's pick the winners.
Okay, so we got Edge and Ray versus Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day because Dominic turns.
I'm gonna go with Judgment Day as well, because they need it. Honestly, Edge and Ray don't need shit. What's next?
Gunther and Sheamus. Sheamus needs the Intercontinental Championship to be a Grand Slam champion.
Fuck that. No, Gunther, man. Gunther. No, not Gunther. The ring general. Okay. Gunther.
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna go Gunther as well. He needs a long reign.
All right.
Riddle and Rollins. Who you got?
Gotta go with Rollins, man. Rollins been losing a lot of matches.
No, Rollins gonna stump that nigga head in, bro.
Love you, Riddle. Love you, bro.
It's gonna be the best match of his life, man. He's gonna get his head stumped the fuck in, nigga.
Yeah, fucking crazy, man. But yeah, I'm going with Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, Seth's gonna win that match. All right, we got Bianca and the girls, Alexa and Asuka versus Bayley, Dakota, and Io.
People have been thinking that Alexa might turn, but I definitely think that Control should win this. Io,
Control wins,
and Bayley.
Control wins, but Alexa doesn't turn. She just does. She's gonna dog it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna do one of those WCW turns where she's involved in the match early, and then late in the match where she need to tag, she's gonna drop down.
Okay. I like
And
that.
then she gonna watch the pack of wolves stomp on Bianca, stomp on Oscar, stomp on Bianca, and she gonna look at that championship, and that's our feud, baby.
But then we got Bailey and Bianca.
Oh yeah, well Bailey gonna get her ass beat just to get.
You just said like not even like 30 minutes ago that Bailey needs a title with control.
Oh yeah, she gonna get it, but just not right now. You know? Well, because
Gotcha.
I think honestly, so I think realistically, if I'm just being honest, I'm not trying to run with that storyline. I do think that maybe Alexa is a good baby face, so she stays. You know what I mean? But I do think
Yeah.
they do something to take Alexa out the match. Like maybe she gets hit in the head, she gets taken out, and then you know what I mean. Like down the line, Bianca and Alexa goes into a feud where I think that matters. But I think Bailey loses to Bianca at Extreme Rules.
Yeah. Alexa needs to turn heel at some point, but I don't think it's gonna be here.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be hers. But I
Yeah.
do think that Control wins this
Yeah, I
match.
agree. I agree.
Liv and Shayna, who we got?
This is tough. Honestly, this is the one that I'm like, I don't know if you go either way, but I'm gonna go with Liv. I'm gonna go with Liv. I don't necessarily want that to be the case because I love Shayna Baszler, and I think that she deserves a title run. I think it'll be interesting with her the title, and Liv, chasing her, and Ronda saying, "Hey, listen, I know you got the title. I know you're my friend, but no, I need that." So but yeah, I think Liv is gonna come out the victor somehow, somewhere.
Somebody just tweeted us, "This is the worst engagement take I've ever seen," and I'm about to reply, "It worked
That's my
because
dick.
you're engaged." You know what I'm saying? And I engaged back with your engagement, so that's just another engagement. Thank you. Thank you.
Shush, please. That's what I should send back.
All right. Last but not least, Drew Roman. Who you got?
Drew Roman. I'm gonna go with the head of the table, Roman. I know we're in the UK, and I know people are like, "Yo, it's time for Drew," and I know he just got his ass beat by the entire bloodline and Sami Zayn, but just something tells me the head of the table is gonna reign supreme, and we're gonna be like, "Damn, who's gonna stop this nigga?"
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Roman's gonna win. Roman's gonna win. Roman's gonna
Put
win.
that shit on. Yeah, I was at my nephew's game in Pennsylvania, and that's the touchdown. You're gonna see this all through the NFL this year.
Nigga,
That's
if
the
they
touchdown
fuck
dance.
around and put that in Madden before
Yo,
Antonio Brown, nigga,
that'd be amazing.
business and logic, motherfucker.
Yes.
Business and logic, nigga. Okay, so honestly, realistically, I will want Drew to win it in Cardiff. So, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a bigger storyline to have Roman hold the title or not. You know what I'm saying? I do think that Drew maybe like okay. How about this? And this is just me freestyling, and we don't have to go long with this or not. Drew McIntyre is getting ready to hit the Claymore. Karrion Cross comes out. Tyson Fury interferes to take to kind of like
Tyson
you know
Fury.
Tyson Fury is going to be at Cardiff. It's going to be in
I
Cardiff.
didn't know that. Where'd you hear that?
Twitter,
Okay, Tyson Fury is gonna interfere,
I
and
think Tyson Fury interferes to kind of help Drew. Maybe Drew hits the Claymore, and that's how Roman loses. Maybe some type of whole type of
listen,
shenanigans, But
Roman's the head of the table until somebody proves that he's not, and Drew ain't that guy yet. It's
okay,
the it has to go to WrestleMania, either Cody or The Rock. That's it.
Cody or the Rock. Cody or the Rock to end it. So with that being said, is there anything that we needed to cover, we wanted to cover, or did not get a chance to talk about? I know we had us a show, brother.
I didn't know there was a Legends Bar in Kentucky.
A Legends Bar in Kentucky.
Yeah, isn't Littlefoot? She had a match out there.
Ah,
You retweeted it.
I mean, I'm damn nigga, you on put me on the spot like that,
No,
brother.
the fuck it. Act like I didn't say that. Anyways, yeah. Fuck our tweets.
No, I'm just saying.
I just thought about it. I just like, yo, okay. But I was just because really what I was thinking about was like, yeah, should I go to Legends Bar to watch this show? Because obviously, but then I remembered, oh, Chief Wrestling at a Legends Bar. Like that's kind of interesting. But shout out to Lex Little for honestly doing your thing and chasing your dreams and doing like honestly, I respect it as hell. What else? We already did our predictions for everything. I think we have SmackDown tomorrow. Karrion Kross has his first match as the go home show for the Cardiff show. And that's all. That's all. We'll be back here on Patreon on when do you want to come in live? Because they got to come after the shows.
Yes. So, okay. So Saturday is
When Worlds Collide.
no. Saturday is Cardiff.
Oh, it's Cardiff. Yeah.
Saturday is Cardiff. Saturday is also CJ's birthday, but Cardiff starts at like 1. So we can recap.
I think Sunday night.
Sunday night with everything.
Yeah, so you guys can catch us on our Patreon, $5 a month. For $5, we're going to recap the entire weekend. When Worlds Collide, All Out, and Cardiff, Clash at the Castle. And give you some more takes on will Tua win the Super Bowl? No. And
Velveteen Dream got hit.
Velveteen Dream got hit. Matt Riddles has a crazy ex, and we'll talk more about all that shit. Other than that, that has been the week that was, and we've been running for like 2 hours now. So that has been the week that was. I think we're done. All is love. Everything's wrestling. Check out EIWshop.com to check out for our merchandise.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe and like this video. Holla at your boys. We'll be back here next week at 4:20 if you're not on the Patreon. And take it easy. Peace.
Peace.